Finally, Apple's come to its senses as the NRA put out a shooting game for the iPhone and iPods and iPads that was rated for ages 4 and up. Yes, the NRA, the ones who blamed violent video games and FPSs, has put out its own kind of shooting game. And apparently they see nothing wrong with the hypocrisy that they put out there. Because of this, I'm actually deducting that one lone point that NRA got for being respectful during the whole Sandy Hook shooting and not talking until a week after the massacre. Of course, I didn't give them many points of respect anyways because their talk was total bollocks. NRA shooting game isn't for 4-year-olds anymore, thanks to Apple. In the wake of the tragedy of Sandy Hook shooting, the National Rifle Association backed a free shooting simulator called NRA Practice Range. The iTunes app was rated ages 4 years old and up. Because political pressure caused Apple to reclassify the game as a 12 years old and up. The app is, quote, an official NRA licensed product, and it allows players to fire a variety of weapons in the shooting range. While the app is free, you can unlock an AK-47 rifle for just 99 cents. Initially, Apple rates apps ages 4 and up if they, quote, contain no objectionable materials. It is the height of hypocrisy, said New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who is pushing for greater gun control. If you remember, the head of the NRA's speech on television, he blamed violent children on games that cause things, for causing things like the terrible tragedy in Connecticut. Continuing, Bloomberg said via CBS, the decision to release this app this Monday was, quote, mind-boggling. Tell me about it. A lot of what's been going on lately in many circles is just absolutely mind-boggling. I just don't understand the logic. I cannot follow the reasoning. Because there is none. But I digress. How dumb can you get? How insulting can you be? They are tone deaf. You can quote me on any of that, Connecticut Gov. Daniel Mallory said on Tuesday via NBC. Senator Charles Schumer from New York called on Apple to raise the game's rating to 17 years old and up on Tuesday afternoon. Apple changed the app's rating to 12 and up. Apple did the right thing by acknowledging that the game wasn't for young children, but should go further in restricting it as tightly as possible. Now that I don't agree with. What is it with you, world? You get the ball, you start running with it, you're going to the right end zone, the goalpost is in sight, and then, whoops, you just completely drop the ball. Look, I admit that the NRA game is in poor taste, but it doesn't have any blood. It doesn't technically have any violence, though some of the targets do seem rather inappropriate when I've seen the screenshots. Some of them look like kind of coffin-ish. Some of them look slightly human-like. But that's what the human-like ones are ones you would find in any shooting range. The coffin ones, I've not seen those at my times with some of my associates at the shooting range. And I do feel that that was a bit off, to say the least. But that said, no, I think and I feel that Apple did right by at least raising the rating, but I don't see enough of a problem. I'm not seeing enough violent material to it to also then support the idea that Apple didn't go far enough. Apple did what Apple should have done, although the fact that they let this app be an app in the first place, that's debatable in and of itself. But at this point, I don't care. It's not like the NRA backed a game that was like High School Massacre, High School Massacre the musical, the app, or something like that, where you're just like, What the hell? This is still poor taste. This is still hypocrisy. But this is the NRA. Should we really expect anything different from them? Just saying.